Today we're making Italian Zucchini Crescent Pie. And this is a wonderful summertime savory pie that's great as a side dish, or you could add some sausage and make it a main dish. It's made easy because we're using crescent rolls as our crust. This wonderful savory pie is a great way to use up some of that extra zucchini that you may have from your garden. We're going to use 4 cups of thinly sliced zucchini, and it's best to use smaller zucchini. I find a zucchini that's about this size is perfect. This weighs about 11 ounces. So you'll want to go ahead and slice up your zucchini into thin slices, and we are going to saute this on the stovetop with a cup of onions and some Italian seasonings. We're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter in our skillet. I melted that over medium-high, and I'm going to turn this down to medium. Let's add 4 cups of thinly sliced zucchini. And you see how thin I've sliced it. And I want the smaller zucchini because I don't want the seeds. I saved the large zucchinis for zucchini cake and zucchini bread. I go ahead and stir these just to get them tossed in the butter. Now we add 1 cup of diced onion. I'm partial to the red onion. Give that a stir. Now I've got this on medium heat. We're adding 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then our Italian seasonings of basil and oregano, 1/2 teaspoon each, and 2 tablespoons of dried parsley. So if you have fresh basil, oregano, and parsley, just remember you add twice as much as the dried. Now we're going to let this cook about 3 or 4 more minutes, a total of 7 to 8 minutes. You could use yellow squash instead of zucchini. You could certainly use a combination of the two. You just need 4 cups in total. So for the remainder of our filling, we're going to mix 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. Go ahead and add that to a large bowl because we're going to add our zucchini and onion. We want 2 well-beaten eggs. And let's fold together our 2 well-beaten eggs and our cheese. And now we're adding our zucchini and onion. This is such a wonderful weeknight pie. I'm going to use an 11-inch pie dish. And you can use a 12 by 8-inch casserole dish. It's going to be ungreased, and we're going to lay our crescent rolls in here, pinch them together, and this goes in the oven. So I'm using the 8 crescent roll pack, the Pillsbury pack, and I find it's best to go ahead and lay these out. And I like to take my pizza cutter on those perforations. It just is easier than fighting with it. In there. I have this handy little rolling tool that really helps. If you wanted to do this in a rectangular pan, it'd be a little bit easier. Once you get your crescent rolls in there, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of mustard. I'm using Dijon mustard. That's what I like. And just going to coat the bottom. You could use a little brush for this if you want. Give your zucchini and cheese mixture a little toss. I'm doing a summer pie series. This is one of 2 savory pies I'm doing. The next one is going to be a tomato pie using biscuits. Now what I'm going to do is roll this crust down like this inside. I think it's just going to encase this a little better. Now, one thing you might want to do if you want it to be really, really pretty is come in here and take those zucchinis that get folded over and take them out and lay them out. Our Italian Zucchini Crescent Pie is going into a 375-degree oven for about 20 minutes. Check on it. This will be done when a knife inserted in the center comes out clean. Probably want to check on it. Make sure that your outside edge isn't over browning after about 10 minutes. So that is set up the way I want it around the outside.
outside edges, a little bit like a quiche. Let's let this cool about 10 minutes.
So you're going to cook this until the outside edge sets up with that egg and cheese mixture. And you'll want to check on this maybe at least 10 to 12 minutes into the cooking time and cover the edge if you see your crescent crust is browning too much. Now I love a crusty, crispy, crunchy crust, so that was hard to say. I don't think I could say that again. So I was perfectly happy with mine browning up a bit, and I did at the last 2 or 3 minutes put some cover on my crust. So we're gonna let this pie cool for about 10 minutes, and then it's ready to serve.